What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Let's see if I get this. Alrighty. What's up, y'all? Today I had attended the committee on housing and real estate. That's one of the very important meetings to go to down in City Hall, 121 North LaSalle. Today they did a few appointments, but before I start going in about this scam, I wanted to do some of the public comment first. So let's see if I got this.
That gives us quorum. So that makes 10 members present, including myself. We have quorum. We have a Rule 59 request from Alderperson Lespada, Harris, Taliaferro, and Metz to participate remotely. Can I get a motion to allow them to be added to the quorum? So moved by Alderman Taylor. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say nay. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. Alderperson... they're still not on the line, but we will call them as they appear on Zoom. All the persons, Lespada, Harris, and Mitz have been added to the quorum. I don't think he's in the chambers yet. Today we have 8 public speakers who have signed up for public comment. Each speaker will be given 3 minutes to speak on all items on the agenda. The first speaker is Zoe Leigh.
We'll start coming back down, which will be happening. But it's 2025, July 9th, 2025. Still haven't settled my case. But my case is gonna get settled regardless. Like I said, I told y'all 2 years ago, if I had to run myself, I was going to run and get my case settled, because at the end of the day, that's all. The issue is, the reason why you won't settle my case is because y'all keep rezoning stuff to eminent domain, it like what you're trying to do with 1728 East 79th Street with this lady who got that through the Cook County Land Bank, and you guys keep blaming the Cook County Land Bank on things, but it's really the aldermans like Michelle Harris. That's why she don't show up to work anymore, and she has Alvin Ryder doing her things, or like you guys are doing, getting at I don't know who told the worst mayor of all time, Brandon Johnson, that the vice mayor, who should have been in jail a long time ago, Walter Burnett, to tap in as the CEO of CHA, because he has stole so much land, CHA land, with the help of his wife, when his wife was working for CHA. So I don't understand how y'all think y'all can keep recycling these trash aldermen, this corruption in 2025, and think y'all are still going to do this. This is, you guys are unethical. You guys are rude. As far as the Democratic Party, to scream affordable housing and how you guys care about economic development in our communities, and y'all just keep passing it to everybody else but us. We have general contractors, we have construction workers, we have people that are licensed, but no, you guys continue to ignore that and keep screaming to the top of y'all lungs about Trump and the Republican Party being racist when y'all are the racists, when y'all are prejudiced, when y'all are the gatekeepers. Y'all are the ones that are destroying our communities and putting the same corrupt people. All y'all keep doing is putting people in different places. How would y'all ever think Walter Burnett, a bank robber, a corrupt piece of crap, can be tapped in as the CEO of CHA? Like, who thought of that? Like, y'all crazy. And the audacity is really mind-boggling, because y'all really think that people are going to continue this. No. Y'all are going to be removed one by one. Y'all taking the stairs, y'all going to take the window, or y'all going to prison. On my mama, y'all going to prison. I promise y'all going to prison. Y'all do not care about economic development when it comes to our community.
Thank you. I also like to recognize Alderman Moore, Alderman Quesada, and Alderman Rosana Rodriguez Sanchez for the quorum. And Alderwoman Harris just joined us by Zoom as well. Next, we have Mr. George Blakemore. We did.
Housing should be a fundamental right, especially for the Black man that was enslaved in America. A fundamental right. I couldn't believe it that these Black aldermen would advocate for sanctuary, for other people to receive job, good contract, service, housing, when you, Black, your constituent is not getting that. And it's not working, this Black and brown coalition. We have these Black faces in high places selling Black people out, selling them out. Now this man wants, now he's leaving and he's going over to the CHA. The federal government have gotten out of house. They have schemed that Pat Dowell and all have schemed it up that some of these apartments cost $1 million. $1 million can buy 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 houses. It's evil here. It's corruption here. It's nepotism here. And they all Democrats. Now, go red, flip red. But my ultimate aim, the reason I hate you so is because how you treat Black people. They all a piece of Black that around white folks, Black people. Oh, don't use that language. All of them are bad. The Black ones, the Asian ones, the Hispanic, all of them. If I miss one, the Chinese, the Muslims, all of them. It's a cesspool down here. They all are members of the same corrupt machine. And the people have allowed this to exist. Now, how can this man leave here and want his son to take that place? Nepotism, corruption, fraud, and abuse. They have no respect for you citizens because you don't demand respect. You got to teach them how to treat you. If they don't know how, teach them how. Vote them all out. All of them. All of them. And if you don't, it's something wrong with you, me, us, and we. Black people to allow this. Be selfish. Do not believe in no religion, loving your enemy. When you know that person is your enemy, you're going to turn the other cheek. You're a damn fool. You're foolish people. Kill your enemy. Destroy your enemy and love yourself. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Taiwan Sims.
Good afternoon, committee. Good afternoon. So once again, I'm back, Byron Sigcho-Lopez. How you doing? But I realized that the last time I spoke with Cruzado and them over there, or what's his name, Gilbert. How you doing, sir? I spoke about a socialist agenda, and how that works out in the reality of a democracy, or how that works out in the reality of America, especially when you got people that govern over you with a bias, right? Because here it is in the last, 2.5 years, no, since 2022, the homeless population here in Chicago has ballooned 3 times. However, if I can read y'all some numbers, y'all wouldn't believe it, because we've been well funded, the homeless initiative here in Chicago. But I stand in this box once again, asking, once again, what about me? What about me, Byron Sigcho-Lopez? What's the issue? I just want to know. I honestly do. Since 2024, in 2024, there was 195 million put towards the homeless initiative, plus another cap on that. I started this coming to you all, telling you all about my circumstance, my situation. In that year, 2024, what happened? But here in 2025, we still have the same number, plus 40 million. Trump, I don't know. But he said it's what you call them, the racist, white supremacists. Once again, you call it white supremacists. That's a great way to deflect, but you are responsible for this initiative, housing and real estate. So this falls rightly at your feet. Nobody else can be held accountable. And on the reality of it and the truth of it, standing in this room right now, what is the issue? If you were able to house 7,000 individuals who came here who were undocumented, utilizing these funds, plus others, what about me? Tell me. Since January 2025, 7,000 individuals, plus, wait, let's speak on it. 24,000 others reunited. Reunited. I'm one man with 2 children in this America. I ain't left this America. 44 years, I'll be 45 years this year. Tell me, help me understand it. If this not bias or discrimination, tell me what it is. Help me to understand the reality of it. I'm an American. I'm an American. So help me understand why I can't be aided in my country and why this gentleman at the helm of it. It's got to be un-American. Tell me if, look, am I slandering your name? I've been arrested. April 16th, there was a meeting, a joint committee on housing. Y'all guys.
Next, we have Michael Yombe.
Black people speaking up.
Y'all just get us in a row, huh? This housing crisis that's going on is a crisis because you make it a crisis. The same way you sitting up there talking, excuse me, chair, you can hold your conversation to the back. You see, y'all be disrespectful, and then when a person come up here and speak some facts and speak some truth, y'all throw the hatred towards y'all way, to a person way. You know what I'm saying? I've been hated on by the police. I've been hated on by aldermen. And because I'm speaking up about these nasty, filthy, roach, bed bugs, rat infested shelters that they put our people in, and then put migrants, illegals, whatever you want to call them, put them in the nice hotels. You know, Walter Burnett made a comment over in the other meeting talking about I'm the cameraman for Mr. Blake Moore. No, I'm the cameraman for Michael Youngboy and More Real News. He can be on camera if he want to, though the people not gonna listen. Just like they not listening to Brandon Johnson. He all over TikTok. Y'all got him all on these places. Ain't nobody, if they respond, it's some hatred. I stand up for the truth. I stand up for facts. You know what I'm saying? And I was here fighting for my damn daughter. People was intentionally keeping us out of housing because I spoke up for people discriminating against my child because she had seizures. And y'all up here talking about you care about the children. Y'all don't care about the damn children because my child even can't. Y'all don't see my child. Y'all see me in the public. People want me to come out and speak and things like that, etc. on YouTube. Say I haven't did it. I can criticize. I know things that's I don't even want to talk about. And I got the proof to back it up. I just put the video out on Mayor Johnson. I went to Mayor Johnson first at that, y'all people. I went to Mayor Johnson. I gave him the flash drive with the discrimination, with how the shelters look, how they was doing my family, etc. I put it in his hands first before I spoke at this mic. And the door was closed. And I came to these aldermen and the doors was closed. Y'all see me up here and I'm coming up here and I ain't come up here as no anybody. I ain't come up here as no anybody. I dress professional, etc. Person wasn't even knowing I was homeless unless I tell you. Suit look better than yours. No offense. Nice suit. But they know what it is. We need to stop mistreating the American citizens with this housing thing, just trying to make it a pocket fund.
Thank you. Next, we have Natasha.
Yeah. So as you see, hold on. Take this off. All right. All right. Yes. Yes. Yes, Miss Ann. Disgraceful. Now, I met Michael Young Bay. That's the last one, last guy before I cut it off. I met Michael Young Bay summer 2023. He was in Maria Haddon's ward, and him, his wife, and his daughter, baby Venus. Shout out to little Venus. Was trying to get some type of renters assistance so they could stay in their apartment that was not too far from their daughter's school. And as you know, they were living up north, and the school that their daughter was going to was a good CPS school, and they were trying to stay close to the school. But unfortunately, Maria Haddon said that the funding had ran out so they could get rental assistance. But at the same time, the federal government just sent $52 million to the city to help the illegal immigrants. Chicago citizens, children were pushed to the side while this money was being allocated to illegal immigrants. However, even if you take that money away and you look at all the money, all the homeless money that gets allocated from the state to the city, there's no reason why they should have even had an issue with not getting the rental assistance to stay into that and staying at home. From there, they went from shelter to shelter. Even had to bring their child sometimes to the committee meetings. The child would speak out as well. Little Venus has been on that mic too, asking for help. I also saw Brandon Johnson person come to Michael and get the hard drive, and that showed all, how the shelters looked. And you would thought that Mayor Brandon Johnson, being a black man raising 3 black kids with a black wife, would help this black man who also has children and a black wife, but still has not. And then Taiwan, I met Taiwan in 2024 when I had came back after they first banned me and arrested me from down there speaking out. And he also was not getting any help from Maria Haddon. And he was, like I say, he's just one man just trying to get stable so he can get visitation and, be able to have a stable environment and a stable place so he can have a relationship with his children. He's a father trying to get himself together. And these two men cannot get any help from this party that talks about how they are for the family, how they are for affordable housing, and they're talking about all this affordable housing that they're pushing and getting and all that stuff, but the funding, the lack of funding, now they're blaming it on the current administration that's in there, but the current administration just been in there just 6 months. Before that, they weren't helping, and the Democratic Party is never going to help when it comes to homelessness because they have to continue to have some type of issue and problem to run on, and be the victim. They're the victim party with no solution. It's always racism. Billionaires are taking over everything, all those type of things. Even when they talk about that, a lot of these developers and stuff are Democrats, and they are working with the Democratic Party to push this affordable housing, which is another version of how they're trying to push socialism in America, which is never going to work, and that's why the Democratic Party is falling. So today, they let me go back. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Invest Southwest money that was supposed to be allocated for the South Side and the West Side when Lori Lightfoot was in office. Okay, since then, Brandon Johnson decided that he was not going to, we weren't going to call it Invest Southwest anymore. We're going to figure out another name for it. So then he came up with, let me put this up here now so you guys can see. Hold on. If I can get them both up here. All right. So it's called Cut the Tape. Cut the Tape. He decided to basically the illegal immigration. The Invest Southwest money. In the words of Stephanie Coleman, she said it was a hoax. Gilbert Villegas, another alderman down there, said that he remembers that the money was there, and basically says that it was there. It was there. Like I said, Stephanie Coleman said it was a hoax. I actually believe it wasn't a hoax, but the money was stolen, and we don't know where the money went because it was during COVID. So you got They were stealing COVID money. They were stealing this Invest Southwest money. But this man, Brandon Johnson, decides to do something called the cut the tape report. Trying to see. All right. So yeah, so this is cut the tape, April 5th, 2024. The initial report of Mayor Brandon Johnson's initiative to streamline and expedite housing and commercial development processes based on an executive order. My fellow Chicagoans, from day one, my administration has worked to confront the challenges facing housing and commercial development in our city. Chicago is facing an affordable housing shortage and struggling business corridors, both resulting in significant inequities in health, wealth, and well-being. While this issue is multifaceted, impacted by historic disinvestment, current economic trends, post-pandemic recovery, and more, what is clear is that the city must work to increase its production and preservation of housing and revitalize business corridors in the areas that need it most. For far too long, we have heard that it's difficult to build in Chicago. We have heard that the city needs to get out of its own way and reduce the hurdles that developers and contractors face when trying to develop housing and commercial properties. That is why in December 2023, I signed Executive Order 2023-2021, requiring 14 city departments to evaluate, hear that again, evaluate. Evaluate is the same as when they say that they're about to do another reparation study. Evaluate existing development processes and propose solutions that will remove bottlenecks and accelerate review and approval timelines. I also directed my team to collect ideas from broad coalition of stakeholders in Chicago. Developers, architects, contractors, attorneys, lenders, and more, who will work with us to review our current policies and build a new future together. We want to make navigating the entire development process more accessible, especially for nonprofit, emerging, and minority and women-owned businesses who often have the least access to resources. I am pleased to present the Cut the Tape report and its more than 100 recommendations. My administration will partner with city departments, city council, and external stakeholders to streamline the city's processes governing development. We need more housing, more business, more investment, and more jobs in our city. I invite you to join me as we break down barriers and cut the tape. This is what system-level changes looks like. Together, we will build a better, stronger, and safer Chicago. In partnership, Brandon Mayor Johnson. And here are the letters from the Deputy Mayor of Business and Neighborhood Development and Deputy Mayor of Infrastructure. Now, the Deputy Mayor of Infrastructure is no longer neither one of these people. He has made Maurice Robinson. He is head of infrastructure of that money that they just stole in February. I think it was $732 million. But let's get into it. So, dear Chicagoans, our community deserve more affordable housing, more world-class architecture, and more inspiring spaces to live and work. The Cut the Tape report is one big step towards advancing that goal. Since Mayor Johnson issued an executive order in December of 2023, our city departments listened to feedback collected from community leaders and development stakeholders. We evaluated ideas for impact and equity. One of the recommendations that we moved on immediately was to create a new position to manage the initiative. as such. So he has about 45 deputy mayors that we're paying for in our tax dollar. So this lets you know. So this is another deputy mayor that they moved immediately on, was to create a new position that we're paying for, and no, we still are waiting for the affordable housing. Why it's more affordable, while they keep pushing for affordable housing and keeps talking about all this affordable housing, people are getting displaced every day. As you saw, about a week ago, 2 weeks ago, me and Danielle did a whole video on South Shore buildings. They got displaced. Yeah, and he was over there. He gave them no answers, no nothing. Yes, all right. As such, we have begun the process of hiring the first ever. They love one thing about the Democrats. Now they're going to give you a first ever. So this is the first ever director of process improvement positioned in the mayor's office and empowered to drive systems level change. Also, in the spirit of co-governance, we are convening a task force to work in partnership with city staff to implement these recommendations, as well as to generate new paths for impact. We recognize that cutting the tape on its own will not usher in an immediate increase in housing options. We know that. In commercial development, we need to pair this work with dedicated resources to fund development. That's why the Johnson administration has proposed a $1.25 billion housing and economic development bond to ensure we have the resources required to drive development. So from the 2.2 billion from the Invest Southwest, we got $1.25 billion left. So we need to figure out where that other money is at, but we'll talk about that another day. To ensure we have the resources required to drive development. Thanks to those who contributed to this report by participating in meetings, focus groups, and sharing written recommendations. We also express gratitude to COO Officer John Robertson for initiating and sponsoring this work. First Deputy of Business Neighborhood Development, Nika, whatever that last name is, for leading and managing this cross-departmental initiative. Countless city staff for designing and refining recommendations. Bye, bro. And lastly, to our partners at the Civic Consultant Alliance for helping steward this work. Kenya Merritt, Deputy Mayor of Business and Neighborhood Development, and Lori Lipson, Deputy Mayor of Infrastructure. There you go. Photo op. Executive summary. I want to make sure y'all are seeing this. Y'all are understanding this. Yeah, you got that right. This is a good one right here. Put that up on there. You're right, third eye. And then what'd you say? Okay, I want to make sure this is working. So you are seeing that. Okay. Deputy mayors are the same as ghost payrollers. What work are they really doing for their pay? Bing, 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 bing. $1 million question, and K. Yes, $1 million question. Let's get back into it. All right. So we missing a sheet right here. This is taxpaying dollar. All right. Nothing on number 8. All right. The problem. This is the problem that the Democratic Party in all these major cities with the homeless rates of at 100 right now. Chicago's at 116% homeless rate. So let's get into it. Chicago needs more affordable housing and more vibrant commercial corridors across the city. The city currently has in place long-standing development-related administrative policies and processes which significantly influence the types, kinds, and locations of development built. These policies and processes were developed with the intent of advancing resident interest, public health, efficient urban layout, and high-quality design. However, some of these policies and processes, although well-intentioned, can hinder the speed and cost of development. Adopted from the city of New York, the city of Chicago is committed to taking actions across 3 strategies. Build faster, speed up the pace of development by streamlining approval processes. Build everywhere, allow more housing and businesses to be developed in more places. Build together, partner with public, private, and philanthropic stakeholders to create an solutions. Build faster, cut the tape initiative. Innovative, sorry. Oh, here it is. Stakeholders to create innovative solutions. Okay, I got to find my place. Build faster, cut the tape initiative. To kick off the Build Faster strategy on December 11th, 2023, Mayor Brandon Johnson signed executive order number 2023-2021, which charged 14 city departments to identify key barriers within the house and commercial development process that leads to increased timelines, increased costs, potential uncertainty. It asked the departments to recommend solutions to accelerate approvals and to outline implementation plans with key milestones and metrics for success. Now, this was December 11, 2023. We are now almost at December 11, 2025. I'm trying to figure out what affordable housing have they done and who have they put in this affordable housing, because people are getting displaced every day. We just had a building full of people, 2-3 buildings, just recently, last week, 2 weeks ago, right? They had to get up out of there. Gave them $2,500 and $500 extra if you gave them a key. So $3,000. And they homeless, displaced. A lot of them are displaced. A lot of them don't know how to leave their furniture, a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm just trying to figure it out. The work resulted in more than 100 recommendations categorized in this report that include making key enhancements in communication and accountability. I don't even know why the city of Chicago even talks about the word communications or accountability, because they don't count for shit. Across departments, optimizing city resources to improve staffing levels. They're gonna always get you some staffing. If you clicked up with these people, you're gonna get you a job. But we're never going to get the taxpayers or the vulnerable. You're never going to get what you need at all. Technology and technical assistance, and eliminating redundant steps and burdensome requirements throughout the developmental process. In this report, the city outlines its top 10 big bets, which include creating a new director, of course, we're going to create something. So now we're going to create. We're always creating a new job. So we're always here we are. So we're creating a new. How many jobs have we created? And I'm only on page 8. We're creating a new director of process improvement role in the mayor's office, initiating expedited reviews for affordable housing projects, adopting transformational zoning changes, and streamlining design reviews. Yes, maximum corruption. Don't get no better than that. I like that one. That's a good one. Maximum corruption. Oh, God. Measuring success. Proposed outputs. Decrease number of total steps in a given development process. Decrease number of weeks for review cycle and permit process. decrease number of days for turnaround for city feedback at each step of a process, decrease number of revisions required to be reviewed by staff and resubmitted. Proposed outcomes: more units of affordable housing are created and preserved. More units of transitional and supportive housing are created and preserved. More commercial developments are created and preserved. Fewer and shorter project delays, decreased project costs, increased clarity and transparency from the city, increased satisfaction with the city process, improved data collection and tracking, a culture of operational efficiency, iteration, and continuous improvement. Cut the tape. Mayor Brandon Johnson signs Executive Order 2023-21. This is our 5th time that he's told us this. Okay, we already know this. All right, I'm pretty sure y'all know it's 2023-21. All right, December 11th. Giving 14 departments 90 days to identify pain points and solutions in the development approval process. 100+ city staff interviewed across 14 departments. 6 peer cities researched and interviewed. Look at the cities, y'all. New York City, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Austin, Boston, Seattle. All right. 90+ external stakeholders engaged across 6 focus groups: developers, architects, general contractors, lenders, syndicators, attorneys, trades, and more. 280 self-nomination for Cut the Tape Co-Governance Task Force, whatever the fuck that is. 300+ ideas initially generated and vetted with city departments, and director of process improvement role created. Mayor Brandon Johnson publishes Cut the Tape report with 100 recommendations on April 5th, 2024. The problem. Are you guys still with me? Yes. It's getting good, y'all. The problem is his ass. That's the problem. Okay, here's another blank piece of paper. We already talked about the problem, but we're going to do it again. He's going to say it again. The problem is that everybody needs to be removed and in jail. But if you want to go for what they're saying is the probably needs more affordable housing. We know they need affordable housing. Okay, we know this. We get it. We got it. We understand that. Yeah, I keep saying the same thing over again. Vibrant commercial corridors across the city. Yes, we need cities to revisit and improve how we use every tool available in the city. Y'all need to stop fucking stealing. If that's what we need to do. Number 2 is y'all need to go back to y'all knocking down all these CHA buildings and displaced all these people. Now you got people all over the place, all this land that y'all trying to sell off to anybody that for the highest bid. I don't care about affordable housing, but whatever. Chicagoans need more accessible, quality, and affordable housing. How many times are y'all gonna say that? That's why y'all gotta get out of office, because y'all will never make anything accessible, and y'all will never have any quality, and y'all will never have any affordable housing, because y'all have to continue to keep people on the streets. If you keep people on the street, then you can keep getting money from the federal government. And now that this man is not going to give y'all no money, now y'all want to sue him in all types of ways and stuff like that. That's why, Trump, you need to send the feds here and come lock these people up and get a federal oversight and ask for forensic audits. That is how you're going to change all this. Just like how the Democratic Party decided to lock up that when nobody doesn't do what they want to do, they lock them up or put a case on them, like how they put a case on Eric Adams. Y'all need to go ahead and put a case on Brandon Johnson and his administration and all these deputy mayors and these job creations and these housing people and all that, because they done came in there and stole money real fast, real quick. And now they're trying to figure out what they're going to do because you weren't supposed to get in office. So now they don't know what to do. So now all they can do is keep calling you a white supremacist and a racist and sue you guys. All right. The city of Chicago has a crucial role to play in addressing all these issues. However, too often the city's initiatives and programs are stymied by the city's own rules and bureaucracy. The Cut the Tape initiative sets course of action to address these issues and improve housing-related public service and housing outcomes. Anybody who voted for this ordinance, and we need to go back and see who voted for this ordinance, these people need to get out of office because we have no home. We have no affordable housing. I haven't seen nobody get an affordable housing building yet. There's a lot of people that I know that are getting displaced, and not one time has the city helped them find a new place. You just saw two men. One, Michael Young Bay, he finally got a place, but it wasn't through the city. It wasn't through the city. Okay, and as you see, Taiwan had the numbers. And I guarantee you, if I see Taiwan next week, if I call Taiwan, Taiwan is still homeless. Anyway, the most direct way to create affordable housing, of course, for the city to subsidize the creation of affordable units. The city department's housing, DOH, who's the commissioner, Lisette Kassats, whatever her last name is, the piece of doo-doo I posted earlier today. She's some trash too, but that's a whole nother story. Monitors more than 25,000 such units. These 25,000 such units that neither Michael Young Bay and his family nor Taiwan Sims can get. But hey, it is what it is. They monitor them though across the city, and the typical year funds the creation of preservation for more than 1,000 units. But with an affordable housing gap of more than 120,000 homes, this cannot fill the entire need. While more resources are needed, the city also has an obligation to use its existing resources as efficiently as possible. Unfortunately, existing process requirements add meaningfully to the amount of time, staff time, and public funding that goes into each development. The city and its partners could do more and more quickly with more streamlined process. To address the challenges, Mayor Brandon Johnson has proposed a $1.25 billion housing and economic development bond, which rolled over from the Lori Lightfoot money, the Invest Southwest money that was stolen a little bit. Yeah. Like I said, nothing never comes. All they do is continue to roll this money over to where it disappears or nobody doesn't talk about it no more. And then next thing you know, 30, 40 years later, one of these old ass niggas is going to prison like Ed Burke does or something like that. We need these people to start going to jail right now. We want to be in there fresh and young, and they'll be able to do push-ups and get their body right and read the Quran and come out as a better man or a better woman. But y'all need to go to jail right now. Not wait until y'all is Carrie Austin age where she's unfit to fit trial now, and Burke, who just went to his halfway house, only did 9 months, to Madigan, whenever he gonna get sentenced. These people out. Okay, when you look at all them ages, 88, like we got 80, 160, we got like 200 years of old ass, corrupt ass Democratic officials who can't even go do their job. Can't even go do their time. We need Brandon Johnson in jail and his administration in jail like tomorrow, next week. Maybe before the end of the summer. President Trump, Pam Bondi. This guy, this will make up for them talking about everybody mad about the Epstein files. I don't give two fucks about the Epstein files. At the end of the day, it is what it is. I need you to come and pick these people. I need y'all to come pick up Brandon Johnson from the 5th floor. Like, arrest him and arrest them people with him. Walter Burnett, everybody that was with him. Forensic audits. You could start with that. You could start with that. With the illegal immigration money, and then you can go on to this BS right here, and then that money, that infrastructure money that he stole too for his reelection. All right. Over the next 5 years, we'll go to sustaining and modifying the Department of Planning and Development Community Development Grant, which supports real estate development projects that result in rehabilitation of new construction of commercial, industrial, or mixed-use properties. CDG leverages the success of the Neighborhood Opportunity Fund program that no one never gets. Only the same people get the Neighborhood Opportunity Fund too. That's a whole nother situation. That needs to be abolished. That fund is only for the cool kids who's locked in with the city. Okay. However, funding is not the only issue. Capital is necessary, but not sufficient to solve the scale of the problem needed to both invest in the built environment and the success of local small businesses and entrepreneurs. Too often, the city initiative to catalyze more commercial investment and small business growth are stunted. Now, they love to talk about a small business and an entrepreneur that they do not help. The Democratic Party does not care about the average small business, and they don't care about the average entrepreneur. Never did. That's just more talking points, just like they don't care about affordable housing. They don't care about any of those things. They want us to continue to depend on the government. That's why they're so mad at the big, beautiful bill when it comes to Medicaid and when it comes to SNAP benefits. Okay, because get up, be somebody, do something with your life. Okay. Let's see what else we got. So the accept and adapt cannot control or influence, but we must accept the housing market trends, global supply chain issues. Influence cannot control, but we can influence financial lending market, skilled workforce, labor availability, architect skills and experience, construction management, construction methods and means, union training and assessments, control, staff capacity, cross-department coordination, internal city process, city code ordinance, and gain access to capital, grants, escrow, cash advance. City policies and process were developed with the intent of advancing resident interests, public health, efficient urban layout, and high quality design. However, the city recognizes some of these policies and processes, although well-intentioned, can hinder the speed and cost of development. It's never going to be no speed because y'all are never going to make the affordable housing, because the affordable housing, when it comes to the Democratic Party, is just a rift. It's a grift. You're never going to, it's never going to happen. You may get one or two other people get the, oh, look, who do we have? We have Brandon bitch ass Johnson, and is that it looks like what's the girl, Monique Scott in the front, and I think this is one of those affordable that was already putting it together after like 15 or 20 years, but let's act like he's gonna act like he did something. Just put a hard hat on. Build faster, build everywhere, build together. I want to know, like, when they put this stuff together, I know they was real serious when they was at that table. Like, yes, make sure we put it build faster. Yeah, I like that. Build everywhere. That's good too. Build together. Yo, together, you did that. That together part gonna really pull them in. All right. Look, framework borrowed from the City of New York Office of the Mayor. This is stuff that they say. All right, cut the tape. keep saying the same thing. Overview. And they got the fair housing agenda. They don't care about the fair housing agenda. They don't even go by that. They don't go by that at all. Fair housing agenda. If they cared about the fair housing agenda, then a lot of these buildings, these high-rise buildings, especially on the south side, would have been revamped, would have been rehabbed, and they could have used it by all of the money that all of the fines that they would have been charging these people for bed bugs, because there's an ordinance for bed bugs, which you wouldn't know that because they don't push it. They don't care. They want you living as uncomfortable as possible. So you either move out by yourself, we push you out, and then we can sit and say that we are building a bigger, better Chicago. Build upon the Chicago blueprint for fair housing to allow for more housing to be developed citywide and to address the equitable allocation of affordable housing resources. Partner with city council. That city council on that, partner with them to explore legislation. The Democratic Party don't believe in legislation to address the greatest barriers to housing production. If they cared about legislation, we would not be fighting for the little bit of land that we're trying to hold on to over there on the city. If they cared, if the city of Chicago cared about legislation, especially housing legislation. Higher density zoning expansion of the additional dwelling units, pilot programs, always a little program, always a little pilot something. Preserve naturally occurring affordable housing development strategy for city-owned land, targeted housing production, goals by community area. Cut the tape task for partners with Cook County, especially land bank, and assessor's office. Right now, we'll talk about we're interviewing somebody tomorrow that's going to break down the Cook County Land Bank and how they're actually not that bad. They're not bad. It's these things. All right. It's always, this is how you know that they made this with ChatGPT, because it's the same word. There's an abundance of housing and commercial development in all community areas, giving Chicago a diverse supply of quality and affordable options to live, work, and do business. Where? The mission to identify keys, always to identify something. I can identify, if I was to run for office, the identify is there. The issue is y'all are gatekeeping, letting people who are licensed, who are general contractors, who have the means doing it, who have the trades, all that. You want people to come in. Y'all have y'all favorites. Y'all have decided that y'all are going to work with these multi-million-dollar construction companies and stuff like that, even though you lie and try to say that the Republicans do it, but it's really y'all. And because I'm watching people who are general contractors, who have small businesses, who have everything to do this stuff, but you guys are strictly ignoring them because you're waiting for that white or the developer that you're already working with, the multi-million-dollar developer you're already working with, to come in and say, yeah, I want that. Here, I'll give you $20,000, or I'll make sure that you stay in office. Y'all don't care about y'all don't care about the small businesses, the entrepreneurs to build the city up. Y'all don't want to do that. Y'all don't care for that. But y'all will sit there and blame it on the Republicans, or say it's the billionaires. Y'all are the problem. Y'all got Brandon Johnson is a fucking millionaire. That nigga is a billionaire, probably. That nigga just stole so much money. He's probably a millionaire. That's why he's so cocky with it. That's with his weak knees. That's why he thinks that he got it. He thinks he got it like that because he just stole so much money. And this is what they do in the name of affordable housing. with their values, equity, ease, consistency, transparency, predictability, proactiveness, responsiveness, accessibility. All this is lies. The Democratic Party don't believe in none of this. They're inconsistent. They're not transparent. Oh yeah, they are predictable. You already know they on some bullshit. Proactiveness, what? Absolutely not. Accessibility, they're not accessible at all. They don't even come to work. Coordinate. With who? Who they coordinate with? Themselves? Their people? Look at these people. Sierra Boatwright, Andre Weird Vasquez. I don't know the rest of these weirdos in the back. Look at this dude. Just stupid. Another waste of a paper. It's 60. It's a lot of these pages. But basically, all this shit is bullshit. That's Lissette. Oh, there's the CEO. Well, she was the CEO, but she left in November of CHA, and now they're trying to make Walter Burnett, that's a whole nother story. Famous Friday. We got Famous Friday for his ass. Mayor Brandon Johnson's top 10 cut the tape big bets. Cross departments coordination, create a new director. Of course, we already know that. Policy, initiate expedited reviews for affordable housing projects. Zoning, adopt transformational. Zoning change include eliminating minimum parking requirements, streamlining special use permits, and more. Board and commissions evaluate feasibility of streamlining the Community Development Commission and Chicago Planning Commission. Design and construction, streamline Department of Housing, Agricultural and Technical Standards Manual. Design, reduce the number of internal design review meetings in one Department of Planning Development from 3 to 1. Reassesses the role of Committee on Design. Eliminate phase 1 and 2 environmental reviews as a requirement for sale. No, y'all don't need to eliminate no environmental, because when you think about it, y'all were about to put all them people on them toxic soil in Brighton Park. And if it wasn't for Brighton Park going off the way they went off and made bitch ass Pritzker finally having to close that off. So you can't eliminate nothing when it comes to environmental. Y'all can't be fucking trusted when it comes to environmental. So no, expand the pilot for cash advance payment options. We got to read up on that, y'all. Create an online city wallet account to improve options for customer billing, online payments, and debt check. What? Procurement, evaluate the feasibility of reducing the administrative burden of city economic disclosure statements, including expanding expiration dates, allowing exemptions for select projects that receive an allocation of low-income housing, tax credits, and more. So create a new director, process improvement in the mayor's office. Timeline 3 months. The decision maker is the mayor. Now, do we have a director of process improvement? Does anybody know who they are? Let me find out if we do. Yeah. Chicago mayor. Let's go. Let's see who we got. Who is it? Ding, ding, ding. Yes, her name is Abigail Abby Sullivan. Let's look into Abby. All right. Let's get into it. This is Abby, y'all. I'm about to get y'all. I'm about to show y'all Abby. All right. This is Abby, y'all. Abby Sullivan. Abigail Sullivan has served as Director of Process Improvement in the Mayor's Office since July 2024, focused on implementation of the cut the tape recommendations. Abby's career has focused on process improvement and policy change, and most recently, she served as the COA, Chief Operations Analyst for the Chicago Public Library. Prior to that, she served in roles as the Chicago Office of the Inspector General and Council Office of Financial Analysts, and it's COFA, and in several city council offices as a Director of Economic Development, working on various aspects of zoning and development. There she goes, y'all. That is y'all, Director of Process and Improvement, City of Chicago. All right. What's up? All right. Let's go back. Cut the tape. All right. So he did that. So he picked Abby, y'all. So then the second one was design a process to initiate expedited reviews of affordable housing development projects. That timeline was 6 months. Chicago is currently experiencing significant shortage of affordable housing units, with the estimate that Chicago needs an additional 120,000 affordable units to meet the demand. Mayor Johnson plans to tackle this shortage by accelerating the production of affordable housing. In line with this commitment, the mayor's office will partner with relevant departments to explore and design of the expedited review. So did we get the 120 affordable unit demand that he pledged to tackle? Because I know two people that I just showed y'all that he couldn't even tackle to make sure they had 2 places to stay. So I don't know. Let's see. If you guys know, you guys may know. You may know something I don't know. Let's see. See if he did it. It's looking like it's no. We still out here without it, but they do have a housing and economic development from 2024 to 2028 that's supposed to make sure that this was the housing and economic development bond, and they got the housing as a human bond. That's the $1.25 billion over 5 years. It's housing, business, job growth, of course. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's to be continued. We'll talk about that another time. But no, I don't think so. So we got over here. Yeah. So yeah. So I don't think that has happened. Now, he did put the bond situation together, but I don't think the 120,000 homes has happened. Advanced legislation to adopt transformational changes to the city's zoning code, including eliminating minimum parking requirements, streamlining special use. That's 12 plus months. Now, I know he definitely didn't do that yet. And then we have to convene a working group to evaluate the feasibility of streamlining the community development and Chicago Plan Commissioner. The decision maker is City Council and the Department of Law. I don't think they did that either. launch a working group to update the streamline in the Department of Housing, DOH. No, they haven't done that either. All right, so none of that they have done. Now, according to Illinois policy, it's been a year since Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson released his cut the tape reports to boost affordable housing and economic growth. So make sure I'm here. So guys here. All right. It's been a year since Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson released his cut the tape report to boost affordable housing and economic growth. Little of the red tape has been removed. Mayor Brandon Johnson promised to cut the tape, holding Chicago back from housing and economic growth. But a year later, most of his proposals just rearranged regulations. Some are close to useless, and almost no real change has been achieved. On April 5th, 2024, Johnson unveiled 107 separate recommendations headlined by 10 big bets that he said would make it faster and cheaper to build housing and open businesses in Chicago. The administration pledged the solution would help Chicagoans build faster, build everywhere, build together. That was also taken from New York City. The city keeps track of these initiatives online, updating the public about what initiatives have been completed, are in progress, or have yet to be started. 48 to-dos of the original 107 have been labeled complete. 59 others remain unfinished. Analysis suggests the initiative has so far rearranged and simplified or digitized far more red tape than it has removed. Of those line items that might actually help, too few have been completed. Roughly half of the items marked as completed create new committees, roundtables, checklists, or training. Any red tape they might eliminate seems to be inside City Hall, not on the ground for those trying to create housing. Another quarter of completed tasks simply puts forms online, accept digital signatures, or launch software portals. That spares applicants a trip downtown, yet the underlying regulatory hurdles remain. People are still homeless. Some of these complete metrics might also be misleading. For example, recommendation number 19, which discusses consolidating the design review process and moves Chicago towards objective criteria for approval and clear guidelines, could have a big impact. Only the to-do Johnson wrote down wasn't to implement this change, but merely to consider it. The city marked this as complete. They successfully considered it, and no change has been made. There are a couple of promising reforms on the list that will benefit the city if brought to completion. For example, recommendation number 24 would scrap costly phase 1 and 2 environmental reviews or pre-cleared city lots, actually removing a layer of regulation from the process. Other promising reforms include number 76, converting vacant storefronts to housing without discretionary rejections, or a change recently passed by the city council for certain ground floor spaces. Number 67, letting barbershops and nail salons open without zoning board appeals hearing. And number 82, repealing park minimums across the city. Loosening restrictions such as these have been proven in other cities to not just make development easier, but to improve the state of the economy. When Minneapolis relaxed parking minimums, there was a 17% drop in average rents. In San Francisco, when the city allowed neighborhood-scale commercial businesses such as barbershops, nail salons, and art studios to forgo a discretionary hearing, The wait time for new business was drastically reduced, saving thousands. If Johnson wants to get serious about cutting the red tape, there are kinds of high impact initiatives that should focus on completing. And the Cut the Tape report overlooks some of the most effective reforms available to the city. Research shows Chicago's red tape could be cut by implementing solutions such as automatically approving delayed permits, 30, 60, or 90-day deadlines for each permit stage with automatic approval if the city misses the clock, mandating objective criteria across the board. Automatic prerogative has stopped many development projects for subjective readings that keep permit rates low. The veto power held by each of the city's 50 aldermen should be limited in light of the city housing crisis to case development and light touch density properties, 4 to 10 unit buildings. Removing discretionary hurdles for additional dwelling units across the city. A pilot program unfairly restricts developments of additional dwelling units to a few small pilot areas and creates unfair limitations to development on the south and west side of Chicago. Allowing for more multi-family housing in single-family zones. With 40% of Chicago restricted to single-family housing, it is difficult to build cheaper and denser alternatives, having to seek special approval. These restrictions add time and complications to housing development. If Chicago wants more homes, storefronts, and jobs, the administration must trade symbolic process improvements for explicit rule removal. Until then, the city's development process will remain in spirit and in practice just as tangled as ever. Yes, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But you know what? It doesn't matter because the Democratic Party will never, ever get rid of the homeless crisis or ever build affordable housing because that is not what they do. They have to continue to keep people homeless. They have to continue to have small businesses struggle. They have to continue to keep up the racial narrative that Black people that we're oppressed and we're not getting the things that we need because they are doing the oppression. The Democratic Party and the gatekeepers, such as Brandon Johnson and people like a Walter Burdette and a Michelle Harris and a Byron Sigcho-Lopez and an Andre Vasquez and all these deputy mayors and these new staffing programs, staffing people that we have and all that stuff. They don't care. They're never gonna care. If they cared, Michael Young Bay and Taiwan Sims would have had a place. Michael Young Bay would have had a place. They have children. They're men. They want to be active. They want to be fathers. They're good fathers. They're men. They're Black men. They need a place to be stable, to be able to take care of themselves so they can be the man of the house, so they can take care of their children, of their parents, of their wives. But they can't because you've got people like Brandon Johnson and other people like him that and other Democrats that do not care about us getting what we need so we don't have to depend on these pieces of shit. That's that piece, y'all. Okay. And then you have today, they appointed a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people as board of directors of the Residential Investment Corporation. So the Residential Investment Corporation is basically on May 27th, not May 27th, on May 7th, when the Chicago City Council passed Mayor Johnson's landmark green social housing ordinance. The green social housing makes Chicago the first major city in the United States to implement the innovative model for developing permanent affordable housing. Today, the Chicago City Council passed Mayor Johnson's Green Social Housing GSH ordinance, a bold, innovative initiative to expand affordable housing in Chicago while upholding the city's green building standards. The ordinance lays the groundwork for the creation of an independent, get this guys, an independent nonprofit with the authority to serve as a GSH developer. With the passage of the GSH ordinance, Chicago becomes the first major city in the country to implement the innovative model for developing permanent affordable housing. At a time when federal funds for housing are uncertain, we continue to develop tools to make Chicago the safest and most affordable big city in America, said Mayor Brandon Johnson. I'm confident that green social housing in Chicago will become a model for the nation. This work is part of our housing and economic development bond, the $1.25 billion that they rolled over from the Invest Southwest money. I'm confident that the green social housing will become the model for the nation. This work is part of our housing and economic development bond, the largest investment in affordable housing and economic development in the history of Chicago. Now, that's not true because the $2.2 billion of the Invest Southwest money was actually large, and we try to figure out where the rest of that money is. But that's why we need That's why we need President Trump to come in here for these forensic audits. Today, we took the first step towards a greener, cleaner, and more affordable future for the working people of Chicago. The urgency behind the ordinance is clear. Over half of all Chicago renters are cost burdened, meaning they spend more than 30% of their income on housing costs. Yes, because you guys keep taxing us out of our homes, of anything. You tax everything. It doesn't have anything to do with anybody else but the fact of the Democratic Party. That's all y'all do is tax. All right. As federal support for housing programs like the low-income housing tax credit becomes increasingly precarious, Chicago is taking the lead in developing progressive community-centered solutions. With the passage of the ordinance, we are showing the nation what it looks like to take local action in the face of a growing housing crisis. Yes, the growing housing crisis that the Democratic Party continues to let it grow. Like, the reason why the housing crisis keeps growing is because of the Democratic Party and how they have to continue to run on this. They have to continue to run on this, because if they don't run on this, then it won't be no more. It won't be nothing left for them to run on except LGBTQ. Okay, and we're slowly getting that up out of there. All right. Department of Housing Commissioner Lisette Castaneda, whatever. This model allows us to build permanently affordable mixed income housing that is sustainable, community-led, and responsive to the real needs of Chicagoans. They all have the same script. We are not just building homes, we are creating healthier communities and ensuring long-term affordability for generations to come. They don't care about no generations. They don't care about your generational wealth. They don't care about housing at all. One of my friends said yesterday that housing is a public health issue, and it is. And you got two people that y'all can't even help. She was there today. She heard them two men down there. One is still actively needing help. Not one of them has came and said, "Hey, we're going to get you into a place." No, nobody does. But they will ignore him. They will ignore that Chicagoan. They will ignore that father. They will ignore that black man. They will ignore that taxpayer, and will say stuff like this. GSH will be funded with $135 million from Mayor Johnson Housing Economic Development Bond, a newly created nonprofit. Now, what is $135 million? Literally, what is $135 million from? known as the Residential Investment Corporation. So that's what these people were today. That they were avoiding. These were the board of directors. Into future projects are used to increase affordability. Once established, this revolving loan fund will provide the low-cost financing and equity investments for developing permanently affordable mixed-income housing. This model provides flexibility to move at the speed of the market while being held to strong accountability and governance standards. RIC, the nonprofit developer, will collaborate with private developers and retain majority ownership during construction after stabilization. This model combines the efficiency of the private sector with lasting community benefits. Through this initiative, Chicago reinforces its climate action plan and environmental justice action plan designed to protect the city's natural resources, reduce emissions, and help residents thrive, except the ones that come down to the city of Chicago with housing issues. They're not going to help them residents thrive. The city plans to break ground on the first green social housing development in 2026. In 2026. He's that confident that he's going to get back in there. This ordinance now, you're going to break down with your first green social housing development in 2026, and we are at 116% housing, a homeless crisis. That's number one. Number two is $135 million. What is that? Honestly, what is that? And you got over 120,000 units that need to be built to help get some people, to help get some of this homeless issues together. However, you guys are going to be breaking ground for your first green social housing development in 2026. This ordinance is a powerful reminder that housing justice and climate action go hand in hand, said Angela Tover, Chicago's Chief Sustainability Officer and Department Environment Commissioner. Through green social housing, Chicago is advancing a new model for sustainable development where affordable housing meets green building standards and also provides safe, healthy, and affordable living for families. The green social housing ordinance also includes protections for workers and reinforces Chicago values around equity and inclusion. Projects will follow the Illinois Prevailing Wage Act and the city's minority and WBE program. The same minority and WBE people. They don't ever change. It's always the same people, and they'll go and even the developers, the ones that are not minority or woman business, they'll go pick up their token nigger or their token minority woman and add them right there so they can get whatever they need, and it's always the same people. No new people. It's always the same people. Additional preferences have been added for veterans and people with disabilities, and the governance structure was shaped with input from the city council to ensure effective oversight and transparency. That city council in there, the Michelle Harrises, the Walter Berners, the David Moores, the Byron Sigcho-Lopez, them in there, those people in there. They're going to ensure effective oversight and transparency. Them people in there. That's city council. Chicago City Council. All right. Although other cities, including Atlanta, Chattanooga, Montgomery County, have experimented with the social housing model, Chicago will be the largest city in the nation to implement this cutting-edge approach and has authorized the largest revolving fund. It's not going to happen because you're going to jail. I know that much. Now, there was something else. Yeah, you're right. So they can keep on playing poor voters and keep themselves in office. Now, it's more. It's about a million. We're looking at about 700,000 Chicagoans that are suffering poverty in 2025. Okay, we're at probably about a 25% rate. Okay, but it's also the worst if you're living in a predominantly blighted area, which is majority of the black neighborhoods on the south side and the west side. Okay, and they're facing nearly 3 times as much. But this is what the Democratic Party, this is what they need. They need this. They need this to continue to run off of it. They don't want a solution. They need it. That's why they don't care. You know, they say they want to keep us on drugs. They want to keep the liquor stores out there. They don't want us to have any type of infrastructure. They don't want us to have small businesses. They don't want us to build our community up. They cannot do this. Okay, I mean, they cannot do it like they can. They can't at all. It has to be like this in order for them to run on something. Okay, the black poverty rate are nearly triple than the white rates in Chicago. But you cannot blame the white people for this now. You cannot blame the white people for this. This is our leadership. This is our leadership and the people that allow. Even when Rahm Emanuel was the mayor, we had black aldermen in there. We had the Michelle Harris. We had the Bill. We had the David Moores. We had the Greg Mitchell. We had people. We had the people that were in office that allowed him to shut down all the schools. They allowed him to shut down the mental health institutions, knowing that you cannot. Why would you do that? Why would you even think that's okay to do it? But they allowed him to do it. So again, they allowed him to do it. There's one other thing I wanted to show y'all. Yeah, this is it right here. Now, a lot of people don't know about this. Human rights. The Bill of Rights for the Homeless Act. It is a long-standing policy of this state that no person should suffer unnecessarily from cold or hunger, be deprived of shelter or the basic rights incidents to shelter, or be subject to unfair discrimination based on his or her homeless status. At the present time, many persons have been rendered homeless as a result of economic hardship, a severe shortage of safe and affordable housing, and a shrinking social safety net. It is the intent of this act to lessen the adverse effects and conditions caused by the lack of residence or a home. No person's rights, privileges, or access to public services may be denied or abridged solely because he or she is homeless. Such a person shall be granted the same rights and privileges as any other citizens of the state. A person experiencing homelessness has the following rights: the right to use and move freely in public spaces, including but not limited to public sidewalks, public parks, public transportation, and public buildings, in the same manner as any other person without discrimination on the bias of his or her housing status. The right to equal treatment by all state and municipal agencies without discrimination on the basis of housing status. The right to not face discrimination while maintaining employment due to his or lack of permanent mailing address or his or her mailing address being that of a shelter or social service provider. The right to emergency medical care free from discrimination based on his or her housing status. The right to vote, register to vote, and receive documentation necessary to prove identity for voting without discrimination due to his or her housing status. The right to protection from disclosure of his or her records and information provided to homeless shelters and service providers to state, municipal, and private entities without appropriate legal authority, and the right to confidentiality of personnel records and information in accordance with all limitations on disclosure established by the Federal Homeless Management Information Systems, the Federal Health Insurance limitations on disclosure established by the Federal Homeless Management Information Systems, the Federal Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, and the Federal Violence Against Women's Act, and the right to reasonable expectation of privacy in his or her personal property to the same extent as personal property and permanent residence. As used in this act, housing status means that the status of having or not having a fixed or regular residence, including the status of living on the streets in a shelter or a temporary residence. Damage and attorney fees in a civil action alleging violation of this act, the court may award appropriate injunctive and declaratory relief, actual damages, reasonable attorney fees, and the cost of prevailing plaintiff. Yeah. So, for the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because it's an act, it's a law. Okay. So there's no reason why there's anybody that has an issue with finding a home. Like nobody at all. Like it's a lawsuit, and by law, the state of Illinois, the city of Chicago is going to they need to find you a place to go. Okay, they cannot sit here and blame it on the Republicans. That Democrats cannot sit here and say that you can't have they're going to take your Medicaid, or you're going to do all you're not going to have any food stamps or anything like this. It's a fucking law. It's a fucking law that's been here for a very long time, and nobody don't seem to know how to use the law. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. So this is all a fucking game. The Democratic Party is some shit. They're gonna always be some shit because they have to run off of it's an issue, it's a problem. They don't want to help you find no home. They can help you find a home. Just like they can help Taiwan get a voucher for 2 years, get himself together. So you can get him a home. So you can get him a job. So he can save up to what he needs to do, and then work on getting his own place. Section 8 alone, CHA, Section 8 alone is supposed to have. They have that's why they're telling you they're giving you a 2-year limit, because it should only take you 2 years to get you a home through Section 8, through CHA. That is how it's supposed to work. But it's not working like that because you got people who work for CHA, you got people who work for HUD, you got people who work for Section 8 who ignore this number one right here, who have these dumb waiting lists that don't make any sense, who basically pushed all of the citizens over to the side and handled these are replacements, are these illegals, because they just knew for sure that this man wasn't going to get in office. Now, since he's in office, they feel like they're going to fight him the whole time. They're going to fight him the whole time because they don't want people to talk about this. People need to sue the city of Chicago, the state of Illinois. They need to continue to sue the city of Chicago and the state of Illinois, just like they think they're going to sue Trump for him withholding federal funds because it's a sanctuary city. Y'all don't even have no sanctuary for the citizens. Y'all don't have no sanctuary for the Chicago citizens. Y'all don't have no sanctuary for the people who come down to City Hall every day complaining about they need help. Taiwan ain't the only person, but Taiwan is a person that I know. Michael wasn't the only one. It's a lot of people out here that need help, that need housing, and there is enough housing. There is enough housing in the city of Chicago that the people who really need housing to get a place so they can get themselves together. So the funds need to be withheld until these people start going to jail because they're stealing this money. And that's just what it is. That's just what it is. It's a whole law out here. A whole law. So the acting that the Democratic Party is playing and saying that they can't do this and that they're taking this and they're taking that. Nah, they taking it. They taking it. They don't want to make sure you good. They don't want to make sure that you got. Let me tell you something. They're supposed to take care of your housing. They're supposed to make sure you get furniture. They're supposed to make sure you have make sure you get your health, making sure you get your health insurance, all that stuff. They make sure that you got your food. If you need any type of mental health thing, like say you need mental health, you want to see a therapist or anything like that. You want to do family therapy. You make sure your child on therapy, all that. Car service, bus service for your child, all that they're supposed to take care of, and it's supposed to take care of it. It's honestly, it's a 2-year. You're supposed to get 2 years to get yourself on your feet. And with the with the Section 8 program, and they're supposed to help you get a house. Get your house. They put down payment and everything. That is the goal of what they're supposed to be doing, and they're not doing it. A few people it has worked for, but those people were adamant. They were on it. They put their foot on their neck. You know what I'm saying? They knew they could not play with them people. You understand? But everybody doesn't have the capacity to do it. Some people are stressed out. A lot. We got attorneys that don't want to help under that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So yeah. Thank you, Miss Denise. See, he is a negative, man. He always negative. He get on here and just be negative. Nigga angry. Nigga, you need a hug or something. Say you come from a good family. I don't know, man. You need a hug. You always negative. I be this close to blocking your ass. Because you be talking crazy, like you black. It's like you hate black people. I'm saying, man, I don't know if it's because you adopted by white people and stuff like that, but like you can still care about your own people. We ain't dumb now. A lot of us are in the way in the predicaments that we are because of people like how you act, how you are against your own people. That's how a lot of these people are. They're always trying to blame it on white people. Now, this is us. We gatekeep, and then we have attitudes and mentality like your ass do on the Republican side. You see that? You said I could tell y'all shelter cows were how I witnessed myself when the illegals when they first came up in 2023 and when they were prioritizing them. I saw how a family contacted 311 and they had two shelter numbers. They had one for the illegal immigrant families. Fast. That was a fast-paced one. Get you right in. And then they had one for the citizens, for the regular Chicagoans. It could be 2 days, 3 days. You know, two days, 3 days, you may have to wait for a shelter because they don't want them. The shelters are full. You gotta wait 2 and 3 days for a shelter. So if you have to wait 2 or 3 days for a shelter, right? But the illegals can fast track. But other ones had, but other families had to wait 2 or 3 days. Where could they? Some people had to sleep in their cars. Some people had to sleep in people's houses, sleep on couches. Some people had to sleep outside. Some people had to go to the hospital and wait there in the emergency room and just wait. And you know, and it was to the point that the emergency room weren't allowing people to stay in there. But then you got a whole law. There's a whole law out here. A whole law. That's illegal for this to even happen in the state of Illinois. This democratic state. This is like, honestly, you gotta be you gotta be crazy to vote blue this time around. You gotta be insane. They don't want to help you. They don't want small businesses. They don't want to help families. They don't want to help nobody. They have taken an oath to this government to continue to push their version of socialism, and it's Section 8. But it's Section 8 to the point now that, like I said, they done counted us out. You understand? And go ahead and give it to whoever else. And you got some people that actually believe that, well, this is my reparations. Say Section 8 is my reparations. You understand? What are you talking about, man? They don't want you to get any economic development. Don't want to work with you to get economic development. They don't want any of that. Okay, you got to be crazy. If you don't want the government in your business, like if you don't want your government in your business, if you believe in family, if you are a provider, that's the best way to say it. If you are a provider and you want to provide, and a provider can be a man, the provider can be the woman, the provider can be the child who wants to make sure that they take care of their parents once they get older, because at the end of the day, they were great parents. They made sure you were good. You want to make sure they're well off and want to make sure that they don't have to work for anything. You have to be a Republican. You cannot be a Democrat, because unless you clicked up over there, unless you are part of their weird ass fraternity in the government. The government is a whole nother fraternity. They got the fraternity and the fraternity. If you're not part of that weird ass government cult fraternity and all that, then you're gonna lose every time with the Democratic Party. You're gonna lose each and every time with the Democratic Party, because the Democratic Party is not for the people. They don't believe in that U.S. Constitution. They don't believe in laws. They don't believe in any of that. You have to be a fool to continue to vote blue. They don't care about your children. They don't care about where you sleep at. They don't care about your food. Everything is recalled. They said Ritz crackers is recalled. Come on now. We can't even eat crackers. Everything is recalled. Yeah, we'll talk about that tomorrow. This is it. Yeah, you got to get these people out of here. You know what I'm saying? It's only like maybe a few. It's like maybe a few Democrats that's righteous, like that lawyer. That Shar talking about, not a lawyer, that judge. That judge is a good judge. I gotta shout that judge up. I gotta look that judge. I gotta do a personal thing on that judge. That judge get it. And it's probably a few less. I gotta look to see if that judge is a Democrat or a Republican. But I know that judge, that's a good judge. It's not many good judges out there, but that's definitely a good judge. And yes, you're right, Mashawn. Witchcraft. That's exactly what it is. Witchcraft. And it's all over there, and they think somebody's gonna continue to allow that BS. Nah, in the state of Illinois, it's over. I don't care. He can come up with 1,000 things. Cut the tape, the green social house, building a bigger, better, safer Chicago, any of those. It does not matter. They don't have no solution. They will never have a solution when it comes to housing, when it comes to jobs, when it comes to building your own corporation, when it comes to small businesses, when it comes to single family homes. Everybody don't want to be in these whatever these things are that you keep trying to build and everything. People want detached homes. I want my own home. Okay, I want to live in the city. I want my own home. I don't want to live in a condo building, or I don't want to live in an apartment building and I gotta pay all these other extra fees, or I gotta sign up to use the grill, or I gotta or if I want to use the party room, I gotta pay $150 an hour. I'm already paying rent. I gotta pay $150 an hour. Can't smoke, can't do anything I want to do. If I want to party and turn up, I can't. If I want to have a party in my backyard, I don't have no backyard. Like, it got crazy. Like, what is this? No, I'm living in a jail and paying rent. Are you dumb? Yeah, she going to jail too. I got a whole. I gotta call my man. Talk about. I got a whole binder full of bullshit when it comes to Maria Papas. He's probably gonna tell me that's probably gonna be a 10-hour show when I do Maria Papas. Oh yeah, Maria Papas is gonna be that's gonna be a long show. So yeah, so that it ain't no saving the Democratic Party. Democratic Party, it ain't no saving the Democratic Party ain't. These are not the Democrats that y'all think like somebody. I'm a JFK Democrat. I mean, it ain't all that shit has shipped. That ship has sailed a long time ago. It ain't no Democrat. There's no such thing as that. Judge Matthew F. McKinley. All right, let me look him up real quick. Okay. I was in federal court. Oh, yeah, I've seen him. All right. He is a federal judge on senior status. He joined the court in 1999 after being nominated by Bill Clinton. And he assumed senior status on October 7th. He is born in Marion, Indiana. He obtained his bachelor's degree from Notre Dame in 1978 and his law degree from Harvard Law School in 1981. He had a private practice from 1981 to 1982. Then he was a law clerk for Prentice Marshall, U.S. District Court, Northern District of Illinois, from 1982 to 1984. And then he had another private practice from 1984 to 1999. The U.S. Dick Durbin was nominated by the United States District Court of the Northern District by President Bill Clinton to his seat vacated by Paul Plunkin. Kinley was confirmed by the U.S. Senate on April 15, 1999. On a Senate vote, it received commission on April 22nd, 1999. And he assumed senior status on October 21st. He is known for the case against Vodoliak in 2009. He was assigned to resentence former Chicago Alderman Eddie Vodoliak in 2009. The former alderman was convicted that year of being involved in a kickback scheme that defrauded money from medical school as part of a real estate transaction. District Judge Milton Shador sentenced Vadoliak to 5 years probation along with a fine and community service. Judge Kinley was assigned to handle the resentencing after a 7th District Court of Appeals panel led by Judge Richard Posner rejected the sentencing order. Yeah, because that's crazy. 5 years probation is nuts. These motherfuckers are nuts. Rejected the sentence by order judge that gave Vadoliak no jail time. The 7th Circuit said the Shador sentence contained a cascade of errors and commissions. Yeah, he should have been kicked off. Now I gotta look him up, Judge Shador. He was trash. As Posner's opinion commented, the crime suggested there can be no assurance that it left off with a slap of the wrist. The defendant will not commit a future crime. Judge Kinley subsequently resentenced Vadoliak to 10 months in federal prison, along with a period of work release and home confinement, as well as the fine. The former 10th Ward Alderman, age 72, was later put on electronic monitoring during his home imprisonment. Judge Kinley, in April 2012, allowed Vadoliak to end his home imprisonment 3 months early and assigned him 300 community hours service in order to complete his sentence. So, yeah. All I do know is that these terrible aldermen get so many slap in the wrists. It's crazy. But yeah. But he is handling that case, that class action case, when it comes to a lot of those houses that were taken. And no equity. That's actually a good lawsuit. And it's the crazy thing is, I remember even talking to my mom when we first started this, and I said, like, not only did they knock the building down, but like they took all the equity that was in the building. I'm like, that, like, nobody didn't we didn't have no reverse mortgages. My mother didn't take a second mortgage out. My godfather didn't take no second mortgage out. Like, they just completed this clean, knock the building down, just say, hey, we're not going to pay you at all. We're going to give you nothing and deal with it. City of Chicago. The city of Chicago, the land of the affordable house. The land of we're building a bigger, safer, stronger Chicago. We're going to make sure that we're going to get all these people in affordable housing, even though we're going to ignore these people that keep coming down to the city hall. Yes, the one that we knocked down, that person's building. Yes, and I know they have all the evidence and stuff. I don't have nothing to do with that, because we're building a bigger, safer Chicago. Yes, I see those 2 people that keep coming down there asking for housing, and yes, I see those 2 men trying to be good men and trying to take care of their responsibilities so they can take care of their women in their life and their children in their life, but I gotta ignore them because I'm building a bigger, safer, stronger Chicago with the green social housing situation. And on top of that, I'm going to let the vice mayor, that absolutely is the worst person. I'm by far. I mean, he by far the worst person. I'm going to actually let him go ahead. I'm going to appoint him over here with Chicago Housing Authority, and let him continue to steal the rest of Cabrini Green. Yeah, that's it. Because we're building a bigger, safer, stronger Chicago. Yes, the Democratic Party in Chicago. Yeah, Trump, please come arrest each and every one of these people. Like, this real life. Like, this ain't no comedy. This ain't no parody. This is how the city of Chicago been getting down for decades. And they think that people are gonna continue to deal with this. They literally think somebody gonna continue to deal with this. Ain't nobody gonna continue to deal with this bullshit at all. Like, it's not. Hell nah. People are getting older. It does not make any sense how we don't have nothing in our communities. Nothing in our communities. How y'all gonna continue? Who are you blaming? Like, there ain't nobody to blame but yourselves. You gonna sit here and talk about something? Trump is taking the jobs. Yes, he should. He take everything, strip everything until we figure out what the problem is. Everybody sit in the house. Sit in the house and think about it. Why is it over? Why is the homeless population? We at almost 50%. Why don't we have any affordable housing? Where are the 60,000 CHA people who got displaced from all them CHA housing? Where are they at? Why isn't the CHA program, the housing, the program to get the house, why is it not working? Where's the success rate at? Like, what? I'm confused. Like, what? When you sit here talking about something today, we in there, and Jeanette Taylor asked the people who was appointed today, how did they expect to build anything? Because if you common sense, $135 million ain't gonna do nothing. So this was a good question. She asked this question. She says, how are y'all expected to build anything if you're not gonna get any funding from the federal government? And they honestly it took like three of them to answer that question. And they really could not answer that question. Well, one of the guys said, because they got two token blacks on the board, board of directors, and he says, well, we have, we work with certain banks and PNC, and so we're not saying that, we're not promising that we're going to get anything from PNC Bank or anything like that, but we have our people. Ain't nobody working with, and y'all ain't. What's that man's name? Brandon Johnson is a liability. Ain't nobody talking about Brandon Johnson. Brandon Johnson, he had to steal campaign money because ain't nobody standing with Brandon Johnson. Ain't nobody. When I say the whole Chicago gonna move, when it's time to vote this thing out, you're gonna see something that you ain't never seen before in life. He talking about some. He did something with the Green Social House, the biggest thing. It's gonna be the biggest voter turnout since. I mean, it's gonna be too big to not be seen. All of the world in America is gonna see how fast you get voted out. You're not gonna be able to stand a chance. Your best bet is to honestly to just take the window or take the stairs. Like, you are going to embarrass yourself. No church is going to be able to help you. The elders is not going to be able to help you. The kids is not going to be able to help you. The business owners is not going to be able to help you. Elgin is not going to be able to help you. The West Side is not going to be able to help you at all. Your administration is going to be on a last leg. The CTU will not be able to help you. CTU is going down. Stacey Davis Gates is going down. Jackson Hopper, whatever that nigga name is, and his mama is going down. You're not getting back in office at all. It doesn't matter how you do musical chairs, how you moving all these people around and stuff like that, because you think you smarter than somebody and you think you got it like that. It's never. You can bring. There's nothing. Nobody's gonna not a quote. It's gonna be. There's not a Harold Washington quote that's gonna be able to help you. There is not an illegal immigrant that's not gonna be able to help. Nobody's gonna be able to help you at all. You are not getting back in office. There is nothing that you can do to get yourself back in office because you are an idiot. That's number one. Number one is you are an idiot. Number two is you came in there and got down on your knees and decided that you were going to be CTU's biggest bitch, and you were, and then you decided that you rocking with the progressives, Hispanic KKK, that cannot help you at all either. So that's just what it is. Blacks don't. I can't do it no more, nigga. You weird, fam. I gotta put you in timeout. You gotta love black people. You always be black, whatever that nigga name is. I don't even. When I see you too, don't even speak to me because you weird, fam. You always talking negative about black people on here. Like you self hate yourself. You don't like the color that you're in because you were raised by white people and they've taught you not to hate them. They taught you to hate black. You were raised by a bunch of two white racist people because all you do is sit on here and talk about the negative about black people all day. On my page too. Take your weird ass, get your own page. Do that shit over there. Okay? Yeah. Weirdo. Shit. Yeah, don't do nothing. You need to figure out why your feet smell in them shoes before you talk about anybody. That's what you need to worry about. 2 times. Yeah. We have no representation. Tomorrow I'm doing a video with a lady by the name of Leigh Huff. When you hear Leigh Huff's story, and she's a researcher too, very smart, very, very smart lady, a bricklayer, a general contractor, a landlord. And when you listen to her story and how they're giving her a hard time, you will understand. Now they don't want us to have nothing. And so in order for us to have something, we're going to have to change this whole. We're gonna have to switch it all around. We're gonna have to change it all around. It is time for the city of Chicago to go red. That's just what it is. It's just what it is. We have to control our own narrative. Business owners, business workers, families, all that, we gotta take care of this. We have to. These people and people that people understand the beauty of this city, the culture of this city, the economic gems that's in this city, and how this city can make money off of every culture that's here. Like that's the crazy thing. The fact that what the city of Chicago was built on, they're literally pushing that away. Y'all are literally pushing away and to be on the uncomfortable truth, the segregation part, the whole purpose of with the whole thing when it came to the damn Ryan and all that stuff. Like you guys are literally letting these black people that are in these positions take away the culture that we have. Lincoln Park fine. Even and the crazy thing is, even with Pilsen, Byron Sigcho-Lopez is trying to take the Mexican culture out of Pilsen because he's Ecuadorian. He don't give a fuck about what Pilsen was raised on. Like you gotta get the people. They don't respect nobody's culture. They don't respect Chicago history. They don't respect no landmarks. They don't respect no churches like the Catholic churches. They don't respect shit. I ain't never seen these group of people that is in office since 2019 don't care about nothing. And then you got the OG sellouts like the Michelle Harrisons and the Bills, the David Moores, the Eminents, all them that just let them just continue to do it. So it doesn't matter. Everybody got to go. If you allowing these fucking pieces of shit to fuck up the city of Chicago, nobody belongs in there. Nobody belongs in that deserves a seat. They don't. They have no respect for the city of Chicago. It's the third largest city, the most beautiful city, the most best summertime on earth. They do not care. This is all some self-centered pieces of juju. They gotta go. They don't care about nothing, none of that at all. And you got these scary ass niggas out here that's not gonna fight. Or you got the ones like this nigga who had to put on a timeout that be talking shit all the time about black people. Get your stinky foot ass out of here. Stay from my page, because I'm about tired of your ass. Self-hating ass. Yeah, like shit weird out here. We gotta get back to some type of shit. I don't know, but yeah, it ain't working. And none of these affordable housing pilots is never going to work. They're all scams. They're going to continue to be scams. You got people out here like Mark Carter. Mark Carter, why don't you give Mark Carter a $100 million contract deal? He know a lot of people. He know he give him a chance. Give these general contractors a respectable contract instead of this little money. Give them a contract that y'all would give these BlackRock. Y'all got the money. Give it to us and give us 2 or 3 blocks and let us build it up. Let us build up, and I guarantee you it's not going to take that long because a lot of people know how this works. I'm pretty sure Mark Carter, you give him Austin. I'm pretty sure he could take care of it. I'm pretty sure he knows the ropes and how it works. Why don't you give us a chance? You don't want to give us no chance. Because if you give us a chance and we build our communities up, then poverty, the drugs are not there as much. You understand? The violence is not there as much. We ain't mad at each other. We can find out who's doing who, so we can pinpoint that person and make sure that person's locked up for a very long time. Y'all don't want to do that. Y'all don't want us to make sure that we have economic development in our communities so the violence and stuff can go down, because that's how y'all continue to get rich off of this oppression that you keep saying that we have, that we do not have. Nah, you have to flip it red. It's no other way. There's no other way but to flip it red. There's no other way. I don't want to hear about no independent because it's not going to work. And Democrats is never going to change because their policies are the same. They don't even respect the 14th Amendment. They don't even respect the word freedmen. They don't care about the Reconstruction era. The only person that gave us that was the Republicans. They don't care about nothing about the Reconstruction era at all. They're never going to talk about the Reconstruction era. They're never going to talk about the Republican Party. They're never going to talk about the Freedmen Amendment. They cannot talk about it. The reason why they can't talk about it is because they didn't give that to us. The Republicans do. So you have to hold the Republicans responsible for that. And you got a man who is in office right now fighting for that. You got a man that's in office that's trying to bring everything back to America. You got a man right here that's trying to put the end on you cannot be laid up in generations and generations of Section 8. Get out and do something. Be something. Do something. What do you need? We got all of the stuff. We're trying to help you with it. We're going to take care of these blue cities. We're going to have to withhold the funding for a minute, though, because if we don't withhold the funding, they're going to continue to do the same shit, like not give you the opportunity zones that I put in place since 2016. You got to start suing these people. Start suing the city. Start suing the city of Chicago for discrimination. They are discriminating against Chicago citizens. They are prioritizing illegal immigrants, people who have not even been put in that U.S. Constitution, because they care about the money. They don't care about us. They never cared about us. They never cared about us. They have those people that's in office. They don't care about themselves. Anybody, all them black people that's in office that don't speak on our history, don't care about us. And why do you continue to keep voting for them? Because they're cute. Because you think Hakeem, the other day, girl, Hakeem Jeffries is fine. What the fuck does that got to do with him not making sure that niggas got their reparations? And people got their economic resources. He don't even speak. He like somebody said, you stood up for 8 hours talking about what? And the bill still passed. Thank God the bill passed, but the bill still passed. They don't go by the U.S. Constitution. If you want to get anything done in the United States of America, the supreme law of the land, the Republicans built that when it comes to the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment, when it comes to the Reconstruction era, when it comes back to the 40 acres and a mule, the Democratic Party ain't never going to talk about the 40 acres mule. The Democratic Party ain't never going to talk about Reconstruction. The Democratic Party ain't never going to talk about economic resources. They're going to continue to say that we're oppressed, even though we're not oppressed. But they're going to continue to say we're oppressed because that's how they make their money. They don't have another script. The script that they right now they're crashing out. They have nothing else. Look at it now. Now they got Nicki Minaj and Beyonce Mama and them all fighting now. They got to figure out something else now. We got to ignore all that. Pray for them. I love them all. I'm not going to stop listening to none of their music. I love them all. I pray for them, get them some get them some mental health therapy. They all need to go to group therapy. They got too much money to be going back and forth when it comes to that. But when it comes to us, we can no longer let that stuff entertain us, and we need to figure out how to remove these people out of office so we can build our many empires to bring economic resources into our communities so we can help our children and their futures and our elders. And we have allies. We have a lot of allies that is willing to help us as well. Everybody is not the enemy. Every white person is not a bad person, and every black person is not a good person, because I'm watching all these black people, including our mayor, shit on us each and every day. And that's real. That's absolutely real. These black people, these Democrats do not care about us at all. At all. I've never seen. It's so sad. It's funny because it's like ain't nowhere in the world. We gotta be in the movie. I gotta be getting pumped, man. Ain't nowhere in the world society is like this out here. Ain't nowhere in the world. My grandmama, my great grandmother, my grandmama, my aunts, my sisters gave their votes to this piece of shit. My sister fought for this country. And had to fight for her 100% disability with the whole Lake Lejeune thing. Like, come on. This ain't normal, man. They don't want us. They don't want. How does a whole political party don't care about the family? The family is population. That's how we can continue to grow. That's economic growth. If you make sure, if you give your child a life, and you give your child the life that will help them become stable and be able to help bring economic development into the world, and then they have children, and then they have children, and then they have children, and then they have children. That is how the world continues to go. So how does one party that's supposed to be the party of the whatever I don't know what that party is. That party is a demonic. However, that party is pushing for us to not have no children. They're pushing for us to not be not to be on our own. All the social programs that they're supposed to have should have a time limit so you can get out here and so another person gets on hard times, they're able to it's just like social programs should just be like how you go home. Like sometimes you have to come back home and regroup. You understand? Your mom will be like, you always come home. You understand? And you come home and you have to be in the basement for a while. You gotta get your stuff together, but then once you get yourself back together, then you can go get your save up, get you another apartment, whatever you gotta do. You may have a bad breakup or something like that, but you can come back home. That's what the social program is supposed to be. You're not supposed to be on these programs for 10, 15 years and then tell your kids too, yeah, girl, you can just get on it too. I'll get you on the waiting list right now. Like, that's not how this works. It's not how this works at all. And the Democratic Party they want to fight to keep you retarded. Because that's basically what it is. That's the party of retards. And they feel like they can tablespoon us and be okay with it. Nah, that's not how this works. And then you get mad when you see white people that saying, no, I don't, and you see their legacy is going that, the only people that work for is the white liberals. That's why the white liberals are so mad. White liberals are pissed off because the gravy train is empty. It's empty. It's no more. Okay, man, how dare you? How dare you niggers? How dare you niggers get a brain? How dare you niggas start talking about the U.S. Constitution? They don't care about you. We care about you. Yeah, we want you to do whatever you guys want to do over here. Yeah. You guys can't work. Black people can't work. No, you have to get your Section 8. You have to get your Section 8. You got to get your little food stamps. No, what? No, yes, yeah. Who cares about your kids? Yeah, if you want to kill your kid, kill your kid. Kill your kid. Yeah, if your kid wants to be a girl, if they identify as a boy, but they're really a girl at 3 years old, they know what they're talking about. How dare you don't think that they know? These are people that you want running your country, running your schools, running jobs, running everything. These are the people we're supposed to listen to in 2025. At 39 years old, I'm supposed to be okay with somebody telling me that my niece is 5, and my niece ask one question or something like that, the next time she come home and say she want to be a boy at 5 years old, it's time to put her on puberty blockers and shit. What the fuck are we dealing with? Yeah, that's it right there. You said it, Sarah. They want a class of dependents so they can count on the votes. People need a hand up, not a hand out. You're absolutely right. So we have nobody not deal with that no more. They shouldn't be. First of all, you shouldn't want nobody up in your business. That's number one. Number two is if life would be if we would go back to like a little bit of normals being normal, but we're getting back there. Then when you are going through issues and problems, psychiatrists, a psychologist, and a therapist that went to school for this, I'm not talking about no social work. I'm talking about a psychiatrist, a psychologist, and a therapist. If you have those people who are licensed, who took clinicals, and all of those people, there's nothing wrong with speaking to a therapist, especially what we've been going through, especially after from the COVID. To the illegal immigration scheme, to this pushing this LGBTQ thing to make it act like you're putting a division against
A division against people who are, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm very, yeah, as you see, I'm very open, but I don't lead with my sexual orientation and never have ever since I've been out. And you are putting a division against family, against friends, against strangers, because you're trying to push something that at the end of the day, you do not push on children. And you should not, in the nerve of you trying to make a person feel bad about they don't want that talk to their child, they don't want that in their house, it's crazy to me. Because at the end of the day, that you are impeding on how a person thinks, thoughts. That's a bully. You being a whole ass bully out here. And y'all will continue to be bullies because y'all keep voting for them. Y'all keep voting this way. You cannot keep voting this way. That's the Democratic Party needs to burn in flames. It needs to burn in flames. Ain't no saving that party. Ain't no saving that. Anybody that's normal, anybody that has a conscience, anybody that's living the righteous way, anybody that wants that cares about the family, that cares about children, that cares about your elders, cares about equity, cares about single family homes, all this stuff. You got to get up out of there. You got to get up out of there. Ain't no saving the Democratic Party. That party is, leave that shit out there. Leave that to the weirdos and Hollyweird groupies and these weird political actors that don't care about real life stuff. Like we're paying bills out here. Like we paying bills. You understand? Like they out here. They think we guinea pigs. They want to give you all types of weird vaccines and stuff. They want to lie to you and tell you all types of stuff. They pay the media millions of dollars to keep this racial narrative going on. Anytime a white Republican get up in office, like it's going to get worse and worse. Like if we don't start ignoring these people, it's going to get worse and worse. Okay, they got AI now. Next thing you know, they're going to find a picture and going to put a Ku Klux Klan thing on Trump and say that he used to wear that and when he was a child. That's just how sick and weird these people are. Like it's a sick, twisted game that the media is dealing with as well. It's weird. It's weird as hell, and it's gonna be and it's to the point now that honestly, President Trump, you're gonna have to start arresting these people. Like you're gonna have to start arresting these people like next week. You're gonna have to go in and start arresting these mayors. You start with Brandon Johnson first. Then Karen Bass. You know what I'm saying? Anybody, then you got to start with the governors. You got to go in here and get these anybody that's harboring any of these illegals. You're gonna have to bring martial law in. You're gonna have to bring the horses in. You're gonna have to bring the military in. You're gonna have to come and you're gonna have to make an example of these people. Honestly, you're gonna have to make an example. Like how they were willing to take Eric Adams down. You understand when as soon as he wasn't with the illegal immigrant, he started protesting outside with the people for a minute. You want to do the same thing. You're gonna have to come and arrest these people because we're up against the cartel. Because the cartel is running the city of Chicago. That's why he think he's so confident and think he's going to get back in with that. You got to come and get these people up out of here. Like this is real. Like we are under attack. This is not a game. This is not. We are in real life Grand Theft Auto in the city of Chicago. Okay, we dealing with these badass kids. You dealing with these illegals that you can't lock up. You dealing with a fentanyl crisis, you're dealing with a homeless crisis, and you're dealing with a group of incompetent politicians who don't care, and they have doubled down on them not caring ever since you got in office. And that's just what it is. They do not care, and they're spending millions and millions and millions of dollars to push this weird narrative on the news and stuff that is just. It's just terrible. It's just terrible. I'm just letting you know
you gotta move. You gotta move fast. Pam Bondi, if she can't do the work, do the job, you gotta fire her and find somebody else. Cash Patel, if he can't do the job, you gotta fire him and find somebody else. Dan Bongino, if he can't do the job, you're gonna fire somebody. You gotta find some real people that need to come in here. Not no actors, not no celebrities. We need real life attorney general. We need real life FBI agents to come and arrest these people. These people have to be arrested. Operation Grey Lord was a real thing, and it needs to happen again. It needs to happen again. We're under attack. This was dangerous. Now we're dealing with the Hispanic KKK. We're dealing with the cartel. We're dealing with these raggedy black politicians that don't know whether they're coming or going. You understand? You're dealing with these weird pastors. You're dealing with a Father Flager who's a weirdo too. Then you're dealing with the nonprofits that are weird, that don't have no intervention when it comes to gang intervention. They stealing the money. Then you're dealing with this battle of Snelling that's asking for that curfew, but you got this man over here that's saying no to the curfew, and then they say on October 16th they're gonna have a whole bunch of people down there for city council kids that are going to be down there saying that they don't need the curfew. All this stuff, we living in Mr. Blakemore said, a dog and pony show. So the dog and pony show needs to end, and people need to start getting arrested. Honestly, it ain't nothing else. Trump, I don't know what else do you need, but please, I just don't disappoint me. Don't disappoint me. I'm riding with you till the wheels fall off. I told you that from day one. I done lost. Well, they done lost me because I'm a real nigga. If you don't know me as a person yet, and to stop fucking with me because of my political choice, that's on you, bitch. But everything that I'm trying to tell you, Trump, please, we need you. Okay, that's just what it is. You broke. You broke what needed to be broken until we're able to come in and get these seats, because we're coming for these seats and we're going to get these seats. But we need these people to be locked up. These people need to be, like Danielle said, you need to make an example out of that Negro. You do, because he think he's untouchable. He literally thinks he's untouchable because he feels like he got the cartel and some other people behind him. And little do he know, he does not. He does not. And if he do, hey, how much money did we just pass in the big beautiful bill? Price and the military, bring every gun that you need. Bring every gun. Bring the guns from back when in 1876, whatever. Bring the new guns. Bring every gun possible, because we are at war. Okay, we are at war with some illegals, some illegals who in their country, it's off with the head. Okay, and that's just what it might have to be. It's off with the head type thing. But we under attack. We literally under attack, and we have no mayor. We have no mayor. We have an administration who's weak and do not care, and they're mad that you're in office, and we got an attorney general who ain't shit. You got a governor who ain't shit. We got a Cook County board president who ain't shit. We got disgraced 50 aldermen who ain't shit. We have the worst representation of all time. It don't get no worse than these niggas who's in office right now in the city of Chicago, in Cook County, in the state of Illinois. From the CTU2, come lock all them up, lock everybody up. All you got to do is say you demanded a forensic audit. You come down here with get some independent people for a forensic audit. That right there will tell you everything that you need to know. These people that stole so much money, they continue to steal so much money. There's never going to be any affordable housing. They're going to try and say that you was the worst, that you did not, you didn't, that all this housing, the homelessness rate is because of your ass, because you done took jobs and stuff. I'm trying to tell you, I already see what they got planned out. So you got to start locking these people up right now. They're going to try to say that they say Reagan was the reason why the homeless rate was at the all-time high. They also said that Reagan was the one who put drugs in the drugs in the community and stuff. They're gonna try to say the same thing for you if you don't come lock these people up. Trump, you gotta lock these people up. You have to. Like it's no like you cannot let the summer ride out. And not lock and make Chicago and Cook County in the state of Illinois an example for every other blue state that want to try it. That's that piece. Thank you for the 482 people that lasted with me. And that's it. But yeah, I really need people I want y'all to know though, it is a law that you guys need to look up and read that law. That's a real thing. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for, I will see y'all tomorrow. We have a great interview tomorrow, and then Famous Friday with Walter Burnett, who I don't know why they think that he's going over here and over here in Chicago Housing Authority. That's not going to work at all. So, peace. Yeah, that's another reason why you got to come, Trump. I don't know if these people started. A lot of people probably started snitching on each other. So he might be a Danny Solis. He might have already snitched or whatever, but he don't need to be nowhere near Chicago Housing Authority. He needs to lead the city, state of Illinois, and his son doesn't need to be in city council at all. Peace.